When you're told that you need to quantify comfort, it's kind of a big question to ask. Like, what does that mean? I'm Joy. I'm an undergrad at MIT, and my favorite sports team is the MIT Women's Club Hockey team. I'm excited to work for someone who's really excited about making the best shoes that exist.
So I'm Daniel. I'm a second-year PhD student in bioengineering. So Sunnystep is a shoe company based in Singapore that's been developing shoes with the intention of them being as comfortable and supportive as possible while maintaining style and everyday use. But they're interested in converting some of their data that they've gotten from surveys into something more quantitative.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm a second-year MBA at MIT. I think our project was super interesting where we weren't given any data. We had to go collect the data, so we kind of had to figure out which different forms of technology we could use, from a mobile mat that we got from TechScan to smart socks, smart insoles, and we kind of landed to most of our data being done at the CCTR, which has ground reaction force plates.
So right now Zach's walking across the force plates in the CCTR. We basically have a walking course set up, indicated by the tape at either end of the force plates. And that way Zach can make sure he sets up in the exact same way every time. Then when he walks across the force plates, on the screen across the room, you can potentially see that there's an arrow that points up, and that indicates basically how much force he's stepping with. And then from that, we can extract data of how much force he's stepping with, as well as the difference between how much force he puts on his heel versus how much force he puts on his toe when he finishes his walk.
The other data we're looking at is foot pressure distribution on the TechScan mobile mat to see if there's any difference in weight distribution from a different foot and insole combination.
So it basically outputs this heat map of what looks like your shoe or your foot, but different colors correspond to different amounts of pressure. So like yellows and reds are more pressure, while blues and greens are less pressure. And that way you can get a sense of where people are applying pressure on their foot when they're standing.
We use 4 different insoles: the no pressure, the smooth insole, the cork insole, and the acupressure insole. And we all used our personal shoes. So you can see on the bottom left is the amount of force we put on our bottom left heel, which is 67 pounds, and then 10 pounds on the top left part of our foot. Going into some data that we found super interesting, on the left side of the screen in the blue, you can see that this is all Sunnystep data, and on the right, it is all of our aggregated personal shoe data. And as you can see, the average stance symmetry across all of us was better on the Sunnystep shoes. As you can see, there's a lot more orange on the screen than blue, which is a good thing here.
This is some of the results for the force plate. So here is kind of what it would look like mapping out the actual data. We looked at kind of just the maximal force exerted on our feet as one measure of what our feet are going through when we're walking. And we actually see that changes pretty drastically depending on the shoe you're wearing, which makes a lot of sense. If you have a shoe with different cushioning, different shape, each different color is a different person. The dotted line is a Sunnystep shoe. And then we checked different insoles. They're all Sunnystep insoles, and kind of looked at how different trends go across. I'm not really sure if we did actually quantify comfort, even if that's what we went in doing, but we did quantify Sunnystep shoes. And Sunnystep will use this data to make more comfortable shoes. It's not necessarily like we unlock the secret to what comfort is, but we're just taking one step further towards creating a better shoe.